much better either.
No, Berger, we saw it on the first loop, Patrick. She was 19 seconds off the fastest, and that's in the first 2.5. So her form has definitely dropped. She will be looking forward to the Christmas break.
Yeah, but she's had such a good start. Very seldom has someone had a good start like she's had and not gone on to win the overall World Cup. I think Ole-Einar Bjorndal's the only man who's done that, but that's usually because he sat out too many and then got ill as well, so he missed 4 or 5 races in the season.
Yeah, that's true. And the women here, they've got the short straw. It's a race today, it's the pursuit tomorrow, and it's the mass start on Sunday, so 3 days in a row.
Yeah, so no chance to recover there. The one thing that Berger will be relieved about is that Daria Domracheva, her main rival for the title this year, isn't racing today, and that means that she can't race tomorrow as well. And I think Daria Domracheva will be sitting at home saying, thank goodness Tora Berger didn't win this one.
She probably will. It's giving her a little chance from taking this break, an enforced break with a light cold, as it's called, or as we were informed.
Wisdom 34.3 outside. One more shot and she would have been looking at a top 2 position. She was never going to catch Miriam Gusno. In fact, top 3 it would have been. Now Vitkova for the Czech Republic. Is she going to be inspired by her teammate, who she will have seen starting and certainly going through the first shoot? Now 2 Czechs in the top 3. That would be a first. And it's a distinct possibility. She clears all 10, and the time 15:30. It's 15 seconds or so from here to the line, so she'll certainly join the chase for a top 5 finish, and that's a fantastic performance from Vitkova. And she's got good company on the last leg as well, with number 42, that's Razmichute, just leaving the range at the same time.
Oh, what a day for the Czech Republic in the women's field. And all the time, the confidence will be building. A little lacking on the track, but not by much in terms of the ski speed.
Scardino coming across, having shot the perfect score, looking to go into 3rd position, 22.44 the time she's after, and she's comfortably inside that, a 5-second margin. And so Belarus joined the top 3 at the finish. Sokolova, Gusna, Scardina, Guisdon, Gasparin of Switzerland is in there in 5th place. Hildebrand Dunkley of USA. And I think, Mike, we've got 10 different nationalities in the top 10 at the moment, and that's a first as well.
It is, and women's biathlon this year, of course, Tora Berger until today has been the shining light, but it really is now allowing so many other nations to come through.
In fact, we got 10 nationalities in the top 11, because Germany have both Gusna and Hildebrand in the top 6. But still, that's fairly astonishing stuff. The best of the Russians at the moment is Vilakina in 10th.
Rosanna Crawford, confidence building all the time in her. It's a wonderful start to her season. She said she had a great summer.
Well, that little shuffle and readjustment worthwhile if you hit the targets. Often it leads to misses, but not for Crawford. So she starts the last lap knowing that she could get her best ever result today. Glazarina, 6th position, 43 outside, 47 outside.
Patrick, she left after the stand shoot, only 9 seconds behind. So really the ski form there for Glazarina, that is a pity. She's a contender on that shooting for a first place, but her skiing speed left her.
Now we have to consider the snow conditions, Mike. Initially we thought Group 3 might be the group to go in, but when the snow's as heavy as it has been over the last half hour or so, sometimes the people skiing on the tracks can't press it down quicker than the snow is actually falling, and so it does get slower.
I'm wondering if that is a factor. I don't think it is entirely in Glazarina's case. So much traffic out there on this, it's only a 2.5 kilometer track.
Good shooting standard from the women today, despite the snow conditions and the wind that has changed. The wind's not as strong as it was yesterday, but it has changed directions on a couple of occasions. So all credit to the athletes out on the track. The top 4 through the second shoot have gone clear. Doreen Albert shoots the perfect 10 out of 10. Hildebrand likewise. Rosanna Crawford, we've just seen for Canada, hitting the perfect 10. And so a very high standard indeed.
Still some big names out there and ready for their start even. Tyrell Ekov, bib number 78, and of course Nadine Hirschler, 76.
Now this is good, considering that Simiryenko has missed 1 target. She's producing a very good run indeed. Scardino's going to survive, but Guisdon moves down yet another position. And so Vita Simiryenko with a top 5 finish at the moment. And if it stays that way, I think that will be her best of the season.
Well, Zaitseva, she had a chance of putting herself on the podium. She knew it, and she missed the first shot there in the stand and the last. That is so unlike Zaitseva. She has this steely concentration when she wants to get them. She normally always does.
Vita Simiryenko's best result so far this season, 9th place, but her last 4 results have got better and better. 25, 27, 11, 9, could improve on that again today. So she is obviously someone who's was wishing Christmas came a little bit later, because when you're on this sort of form, it's a shame to go back to training mode and have to wait a couple of weeks before the next of the World Cup races. Doreen Albert on the charge to the line, and she's worked well over the last lap, but unable to match the pace of the best, but still goes down into 5th position. So Guisdon losing yet another place. But all this is good news, Mike, because it means the pursuit tomorrow, we're going to have a fairly tight start between the first 5 or 6.
Oh, it's all pressure tomorrow. Grigorin normally so often, 94% head rate in the pro, and she normally gets them. Home pressure. I really thought Grigorin was a contender for a top 5 today, but that really has put her chances back. Good to see Andrea Mali. And here the stadium commentator, she's hearing her name. You cannot but ignore your name. But hear your name when the stadium commentator shouts it out. Gets you thinking.
A little bit slower than we would have expected, and just thinking the snow conditions aren't quite as quick as they were half an hour ago.
I think the snow, you're right, has become a little wetter. It's dropping a lot faster than the earlier powder. Good effort from Mali. Thomas Koss just letting the staff know out on the track.
Most of the teams, Mike, with well, all the teams have a coach in the range, scoping, watching the targets. If we take the top teams and we look at the contrast between, let's say, Germany and Slovenia, how many will they have out on the tracks?
I think Slovenia different in that it's in your home location. So yeah, for this time they have more staff, but I think you're looking at about 25% less. So if normally you've got 8, if the Germans say have 8 staff, 10 staff out on the tracks, then the smaller nations will only have 3 or 4.
Andrea Henkel, who we were trying to track earlier on, and the reason we didn't see her is because she missed 2 in the prone position. She skied well to get up into 7th place, and actually that's not a bad run. She's 30 seconds or so slower than Miriam Gustner, and that's not bad at all. She now knows that if she hits all the targets, she'll be looking at a podium finish, so she keeps her run going. And although Henkel hasn't done anything outstanding this year, Mike, she's sitting in 4th in the World Cup standings. She's picked up another bag full of points today, so don't rule her out of winning the overall this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as Vitkova comes in, and a brilliant performance here from the Czech Republic, only 35 seconds off.
Well, there's still quite a margin between 1st and 3rd, but only 5 seconds separate number 3 down to number 8 at the moment at the finish. Well, all credit to those spectators who've hung around the the Glühwein tent must be getting more and more appealing as the conditions deteriorate. Now, Hugberg of Sweden, not the best of starts for her. She took the first leg in the relay for the Swedes. So one of the later starters, and coming from group number 3, Dean Hirschler, starting at the back of group 3. Only 101 on the start sheet for the women's tour today, so it's come down some 20 from the first races up in Östersund.
As Hirschler's shooting her teammate Evie Sachenbacher, Bib 82. I can't wait to see her shooting, a former cross-country skier. Her first shooting was back in March, really. She shoots well.
When she's not under pressure. The fact that this is her first World Cup. If she hits 80% today, Evie Sachenbacher, I think that would be a really good outing and a confidence booster. If she hits 100, I'll take my hat off, because that would be outstanding.
It can go either way, can't it? It's a new experience. There's no pressure really for Evie Sachenbacher, and we've seen how well she can shoot while not out of breath. It'll be interesting.
Austria's top performer. It'd be nice to see the Austrians produce a strong women's team, Mike. They've not really put much focus on it over the years.
They haven't. They're slowly building, and they've now got 3 development schools. I would love to have seen Romanova Schemp from Ramsau get these 5, because this is so competitive, and it would have been a big boost. But yes, Austria have realised they got caught behind with the development of women, and they really are trying to catch up now with their ski schools for the youth programme. Lots of coaches down in the Ramsau area, the Schladming school there.
Well, there's no shortage of facilities, and that usually is the key to producing youngsters that are interested in the sport. And of course, various countries' different gun laws can make biathlon restricted.
It can. It was a real issue to start a club in Scotland, especially with youth development. It took some time to get it underway, but there is only one youth development club now in Scotland, or in Britain I should say.
So let's have a look at the standings after the second shoot. Sokolova, Glazarina, Vitkova, Gusner, who skied herself from 5th all the way up into 2nd place. A great effort from Gusner, but it's still Sokolova of the Czech Republic